Hey everyone, this is Corey. I just wanted to take a few minutes to show some of the scaling stuff, since the most common question we've been asked lately about Ascendancy is how the ships are scaled. Apparently in some other mods there's some issues where everything's really tiny. We haven't had any issues with what we have now. I'm not exactly familiar with a lot of the stuff that other people are comparing it to, so I thought I'd just take some time to show what we have. We are scaling everything properly relative to each other, so everything's going to be its canon scale. Like the Super Star Destroyer, the Executor, is 19 kilometers, and the ISD is 1600 meters. Right now, this is obviously still beta, so everything you see is in progress, not finished. Especially the HUD icons for ships, we don't have any of those things that when you zoom out it changes the model for the icon. So stuff will just disappear when it reaches the draw distance. That's going to be resolved when we start working on that, but yeah. So here's most of the Imperial ships we have now. The 19 kilometer Executor, 1600 meter ISD, 3400 meter Altor. It's supposed to be 4800 canonically, but it's just a support ship and we didn't want it potentially getting in the way. Obviously we haven't changed the voiceovers for things yet, but so yeah, we haven't had any issues with not being able to see or select things, except for fighters right now, since we don't have the icons in. That makes it harder to click on them, since they are obviously very small. But you'll always be able to zoom in on things properly from what we've experienced. Nothing is really too far out of the way. So if you have any comments on that, or want to point out what we're doing wrong, then please feel free. But yeah, we think what we have right now works pretty well. It's a little smaller than the base game, but not dramatically smaller. So Dreadnought's somewhere in the 600-800 meter range, which is where most of the frigates are in the mod. So that should give you some idea. There's Carracks on the smaller end, which you can see in front of one of the Star Destroyers. I don't think I ever zoomed in on it, but yeah, there it is, just between the Altor and the two Star Destroyers. And then, yeah. So you can see some of the defensive platforms in the background. The Golan 1, 2, and 3. The Golan 1 is a little lower than everything else, so it looks smaller than it actually is, but not drastically smaller. Yeah. So I guess I'll show some of the fighters. They are very small, but you can still zoom in on them fine. You can still see everything. They're definitely smaller than the base Sims ones, especially, but it tends to look cooler when you do zoom in and start flying around, because you can see these gigantic ships behind them. So yeah, that should cover everything. There's some other stuff in here that we haven't posted pictures of individually yet. I'm sure we'll get around to it. Like the Star Galleon, which I'll show off in a second there, which is the trade ship for the Remnant. But hopefully that assuages some of your fears for some of you, and if not, then feel free to tell us. We're not married to this. It's still in progress, so if you think there's some valid reasons we need to change scaling things or anything else, then feel free to either post it on Mod Database, forums, YouTube, Facebook. Ideally don't email it to me, because that's less fun for me. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. We should have more stuff for both Ascendancy and Imperial Civil War coming up soon. Bye.